All right. Good evening, everybody. I see already got some people up in the house already. The minute I hit this on, I apologize. What just happened? Let's see, guys. I don't know. I don't know what just happened with the live feed there. I apologize. I don't know. It's stormed down here, so the service has been pretty. All right. Can somebody drop a comment in and let me know if y'all are seeing this feed? I've had to adjust this twice now, so hopefully this live feed's working. Just let me know. Perfect now. Okay, awesome. Sorry about that, guys. I apologize. It's just been the weather here lately. About froze myself out today. I got so cold working outside, building tiny houses, literally so cold outside that I came in, got a warm bath, and was still almost to goosebumps. And I had like, I don't know how many layers of clothes on that. This is ridiculous cold for Tennessee this time of year. I appreciate y'all letting me know everything's good. So, guys, before I get in the topic, I want to tell y'all something while everybody's coming in, gathering in for some red pills of truth tonight. The first thing I want to say, appreciate and love everybody. I always give this statement that I'm not a pastor. I don't count myself a pastor, teacher, preacher, anything other than a servant. Um, Now, everything I say, I'm going to have to give an account to the Most High Yah for one day. So I don't ever lead you astray. Hey, buddy, what's up, son? Glad you're watching this. Love you, man. Um, but I'm going to have to give an account for everything I say one day. I'm going to have to give an account for every action I've done. And I don't want to ever tell you all something that would lead you astray. I want you to always go. I love all you guys. I'm seeing all the comments. I want you to always go fact check everything I tell you. That's why I didn't do this presentation last week, is because I want you to fact check some of the things I'm going to tell you, because I made sure to put the links in the video description below. A lot of the stuff I'm going to cover tonight, just hardcore. Um, with that said, always tell the truth. Always speak the truth, regardless whether it fills up a room or it clears it out. Just tell people like it is. You're going to lose people from your company because of that, but I promise you this, the people that you gain in your presence for doing the right thing and speaking the truth, you you'll never regret it. I promise you that. Thanks, guys. I'm glad it's letting me know the feed's clear. I apologize. Like I said, this is why I'm trying to give a few minutes before we get started on these live videos anymore. Give it 3-4 minutes before we get started so that hopefully the feed clears up. All right. So with that said, reminder to everybody that watches YouTube, December 10th is going to begin the cleansing from YouTube. So if a lot of us content creators ain't here anymore, just want to say I love all of you and thank you for ever since, what was it, May of 2012, I believe. I've been with you ever since then, trying to help spread truth, wake people up. I don't know how many days we're guaranteed here, but in case that I'm gone, love you all, and it's been an awesome ride. And if y'all don't know about YouTube's policies for December 10th, pretty much they can demonetize you. If they consider you not making profit for YouTube, they can remove you, because now they're pretty much a business. They've made sure to clearly define that in their terms of service and etc. now. So pretty much in a nutshell, they can remove people's content. And just so y'all know, like the live I done last week, I had to go and ask them to review it manually so I could get it monetized. It's not about the money, but here's the thing: if you don't have content that so-called can produce money, they're just cutting people. Um, so, can unbelievers go to church? I would hope people would come to the assembly and ask, to be taught the truth. I think though that I think there's a contradiction though when people that quick question answer that quick question. I think people's going to go to church or to fellowship. I don't think they're really a non-believer at that point anymore. They're having enough belief to go and find out. Uh, we all have to seek out our own salvation, work it out in fear and trembling. Um, but the people that, if you're asking like people that's not exactly of the faith, can they come and be part of the assembly? I would, want to win as many people for the kingdom as possibly can. Because at some point, if they're wanting to convert, you gotta come and learn. With that said, guys, we live in the age of deception. Um, the topic tonight is the true faith in the end days. And you might say that's not really that much to be discussed. I mean, we all have faith. I think that it is a important topic for the time. I think matter of fact, it can get right down to some salvational issues too, things that we're going to all be facing in the future as believers. And I'll touch on that here as we go through. I've got 7 points, and then at the end of the video, we'll chat it up. If you want super chat in the middle of the video, in between points, I'll stop and take your message and go over it. True faith, my personal opinion of what true faith is before we even get in all these bullet points, is to step out and be separate and to literally walk out the what the pages of scripture says to do. And we are living in the last generation where we literally are being forewarned of all the events that are taking place in our very eyes. Hey everybody that's coming in the building, I'm seeing all the comments. Love y'all. Just staying on track here. But I'm going to be honest with you, being rooted in true faith and trying to walk out what the pages of scripture really says anymore, you might be like, well, that's not that hard. Churchianity and most of the people out here in the world today have no interest in walking out this thing. I mean, they do a version of their own doctrine and etc. and say they follow the book, but they don't really. And people will take shots at you. Y'all got to understand this. I've been called everything, I think, from a humble person to a narcissist, from a wannabe TV star to a faithful, YouTube producer here, from a scholar to Satan. So, I mean, we that's right. Somebody said the churches is falling. And, I've had all sorts of shots taken at me for standing up for what's right. But here's the thing. It's not about Luke's opinion. I always want to get to the root of the matter, okay? And guys, right before we get in this content, make sure to drop a like, all right? It helps keep this content moving. So, faith, we need to walk this thing out, all right? And people will only walk this out so far with you, all right? Paul talks about running a race, and the way I've seen it ever since I started out of Babylon is I feel like I just put the foot down to the gas pedal, and I keep seeing lap traffic. Like I just keep seeing people and they like made it a little inch further, but they're like, that's as far as I'm going to go. And then I keep going further and keep learning more. And as I'm learning more, I come through and I see people and it's just like I'm going through lap traffic at times. And I'm like, these people are never going to try to get in the winner's circle. That's as far as they're going to go. They're going to get their point standings. They're going to finish the race in 7th place. And that's all they're interested in. All right. So point number 1. I think that, I'm sorry, I broke a rule right there, guys. Did you see that? I try not to ever say think or feel anymore. From my best understanding. We'll go with that. The most important thing we should always do is find out a definition of what we're discussing or what we're doing in life or what we're building. You get blueprints for building something. You get a dictionary to understand. You know what I'm saying? You always need to understand the root of things. So with that said, what is faith? All right, what's like the Strong's Concordance say, right? So I looked it up because it's been a while since I dug in my Strong's Concordance. 4102, I believe, is for the Greek, the particular one that I'm touching on, because we're going to start in James, and people talk about faith with works and etc. So I wanted to go and get the exact word for faith from the Greek in the book of James. This is what it says for that particular one for faith, and it's also from, I believe, the Hebrew word 3982. And now you can also get the lexicon. You can pull this up, Google it, lexicon, Hebrew lexicon, Greek lexicon for the verses and chapters in the Bible, and you can look at every single word, what it means, broke down also. Just, I didn't put that one link in, but so right here we go. It says credence, moral conviction of religious truth, or the truthfulness of, and I'm going to substitute God there for Elohim, or a religious teacher, especially reliance upon Christ for salvation. I underlined that in my notes. I'm going back to that. Abstractly, constancy in such profession. By extension, the system of religious, gospel, truth, itself, assurance, belief, believe, faith, fidelity. Now, I want to highlight 2 points in this, all right here. Constancy in such profession, or consistency, all right? Reliance upon Christ for salvation. Now, I'm going to blow y'all's mind with some statistics, all right? And you can go look this factual data up. But people nowadays, even in the church house, hardly have any faith in the Word or any faith in Messiah. And you might say, well, a lot of us know this, Luke. This is not new to us. But you need to understand this clear picture for dealing with your fellow brethren and for dealing with non-believers, because we are in a war. We are going to be in a fight for our lives soon. Now, here's the thing. Abraham believed, and it was accounted for him for righteousness. All right? Now, you can find that in Romans 4:9. I'm going to read this to 2 witnesses. As you can find this in James chapter 2. You can find it in Galatians 3 and 6. All right? And you can find the one I'm going to reference in a minute in James chapter 2. And I'm going to read it right now, because this is going to be some of the substance matter we're going to touch on first thing. All right? And this will all make sense here just shortly, so just bear with me for a few minutes. All right, guys? So right here, we're going to start. Here we go. What does it profit, my brethren, though a man say he has belief and have not works? All right, I'm starting right here in James chapter 2, verse 14. Can belief save him? It's a great question. Now, I'm gonna drop some bombs here in a minute. If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you saying to him, depart in peace, be ye warmed and filled, notwithstanding ye give them not those things which are needful to the body, what does it profit? Even so, belief, if it has not works, is dead, being alone. Yea, a man may say, you have belief and I have works. Show me your belief without your works, and I will show you my belief by my works. You believe that there is one Yah, and do well. The devils also believe and tremble. All right? But will you know, O vain man, that belief without works is dead? Was not Abraham our father justified by works when he had offered Yitzhak his son upon the altar? See how belief wrought with works, and by works was belief made perfect. Now, see right here, going further down. I'll just read the rest of it real quick, because this is like solid for the whole thing. All right. And the scripture was fulfilled, which says, Abraham believed Yahuwah, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness, and he was called the friend of Elohim. Guys, I'm reading from the Et Sefer too. You see then how that by works a man is justified, and not by belief alone. Likewise also was not Rahab the harlot justified by works, when she had received the messengers and had sent them out another way? For as the body without the ruach is dead, so belief without works is dead also. Now, see, people think you get people's argue the thing, well, you can't be saved by works. The thing is, guys, salvation is through belief and faith in Messiah's sacrifice. All right, but the thing is if I say I believe that the trumpets are coming, right? This is the whole reason this channel was ever started, 7 Trumpets Prepper, right? Then why would I say you need to get ready for the 7 trumpets of Revelation if it was just like, okay, I believe that's coming, I'm just going to be whisked away? It ain't that easy, all right? And people get hung up in this stuff. One other thing, just a reference for that, 4 and 9 in Romans says, right here, for we say that belief was reckoned to Abraham for righteousness. That's the latter part of verse 9 there in Romans. And there's a lot of references to Abraham's belief. And the thing is, James is pointing out, and I think the church house misses this by a mile, is they're like, well, we just got to believe. A lot of people believe the pre-tribulation rapture doctrine. It's going to get a lot of people killed, all right? And I'm just giving you an example of faith right here. But if people prepare for what's coming, then that's faith coupled with works, all right? That's not only going to save your physical life, but because you took note, you were prepared, and you paid attention to the prophetic things that said to come, you are going to be able to be mentally able to stand against all the deception that's coming. And that's the thing, is it's like people don't understand true faith in the last days. I really don't believe this, that people will understand. And I know it's such a simple concept to a lot of us because we've been in this walk for a long time, you know. But there is somebody said a good comment there. There are a lot of words in the modern Bible that aren't correct. That's true, guys. I told you last week or week before. Check out etymology on stuff. Check out Strong's Concordance. Try to read Paleo Hebrew. Try to look back at the original text on a lot of this stuff. Here's my thing. If you look at the definition from Scripture, English is witchcraft. I mean, y'all killing me tonight. But here's the thing. If you look back at the true definition of things, if you look back at the original intent that is spoken, you know, people try to twist up what James says. People try to twist up what Paul said. And that's why I don't ever speak to Paul much. Because my thing is, Paul spoke to people in a certain place about a certain issue at a certain time in the history of humanity. And everybody tries to take what Paul wrote and apply it to everybody across the board, and that don't fly. Is there sound doctrine? Is there good things that can be edified from it? Absolutely. But, you know, that's the thing. People don't look at things in context, all right? People try, and I'll get to this in a minute, but people try to twist up so many things to shout down truths and pillars of truth that's being awakened now in the last days, the restorers of the path, the breach. All right, now point number 2. I'm going to move through this, all right, guys? I'm going to try to keep this in an hour so we can all chat for the last 30 as usual. Here's some old examples of faith coupled with works, right? And true faith, all right? I would say true faith is what James was speaking of. Noah. Now, Noah knew the flood was coming. Not only did he know the flood was coming, he tried to warn everybody. And he built a boat in the same time. So the thing that gets me is whenever Noah was done building that boat, it's something that a lot of people miss, is Noah didn't shut the door. Most High Yah shut the door. And so Noah had enough faith that he built the thing that Yah finished the work. He shut the door on the very end and the party got started. You know, and here's another example. Yosef. Yah raised Yosef to power, right? He told Pharaoh, he's like, look, bro, it's going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. This is what your dreams are. And Pharaoh's like, hey, man, you are only second to me, you know, on the throne or whatever, up to the throne. You know, it's like you're second in command, run this show. And because of it, and because of the faith and Yosef putting the granaries together, people lived. You know, he saved Israel, he saved Egypt. And, you know, people's like, well, I have faith in what you're saying. Yeah, I believe that these things would come past. But if you didn't put no granary back, these people would be dead. Are y'all following where I'm going with this? And I understand this may sound childish and simplistic of what I'm saying, but this is going to make perfect sense by the time we get done at the end of this video. Messiah. Y'all raised him from the dead, but he had faith to finish what the master said to do. Prepping is evidence of faith. Exactly. And Messiah had enough faith in the Father's will that even in the garden, you know, he asked for strength and he went and finished the mission because he had faith that the Most High would raise him from the dead. Shalom. Shalom, everybody. Love y'all. Now, this is the deal for our generation, right? Yins have heard me talk on this channel 7 years now. This is 7 years. Yeah, we're getting close to a decade, but it's 7 or 8 years. I have told you all, prep for the trumpets. Prep for the trumpets. Made a whole documentary series on it. I've talked about the trumpets so many times. I've probably like repeated things I've said in content years ago. And the pre-tribulation crowd has always mocked me. It's a waste of time. You know, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming up on snow season here. And the thing that gets me is if right now, if the 7 trumpets revelation didn't happen tomorrow, right? And I lose my job, what have I lost for prepping food? I've got food, I've got water, I've got sanitation. If I can figure out how to pay my electric bill in my house, I still have everything, right? So, I mean, my thing is I don't understand the reasoning behind it. It's almost like there's a spirit at work in people that it's either of slack and laziness or they just don't want to face reality. And I think a lot of people just want to take the blue pill and go to sleep. They don't want to face reality because I'm telling you, I'm going to skip something ahead real quick and tell y'all about something I've seen. I'm going to mark it off my list here that I've told y'all about it. If you don't think that the elite know what's going on, has anybody, I want to see a shout out real quick in the comments section, everybody that's watching. Did anybody see the Foot Locker commercial recently? You know, got zombies walking around, UFOs, people's excited because it's they're getting their shoes. Um, uh, anybody seen the commercial other than me? Please, somebody tell me y'all seen this commercial. They are literally telling you all the things that are yet to come. Yeah, I seen it. All right, Albert. Am I lying? Just drop a comment. Was that commercial not crazy, guys? I mean, they were just blasting in your face that the tribulation's coming. All these events are coming. Alien abduction, Trumpet 5, all this stuff. Predictive programming, indeed. Yeah, guys, I'm telling you, just Google it. New Foot Locker commercial. All right, it's off the darn chain, and they know the trumpets are coming. I'm telling you, the elite are mocking you. They're mocking us. One day when y'all see me hauled off and head lopped off street, son, if you're watching, I seen your comment right there, son. Google this afterwards. All right, I want you to see this. But one day when they haul you out in the street and lock people like my head off in the street, right? Y'all gonna be like, yeah, Luke was telling the truth. Was telling the truth. If I find the link for it again, I'll drop it in the video description when this video's up. Okay, when we're done, the chat's done, I'll put it in the video link. That's the only link I didn't put in there about stuff we're gonna talk about tonight, guys. I apologize for that. But y'all got to see that commercial. It's just ridiculous. All right, but the thing is why I say that in relation to point number 3 is because people are telling you, don't worry about it. You know, people are out here acting like Messiah ain't never gonna come back. And you literally look, though, and the trumpets are coming. Dude, I'm telling y'all, the stuff's going on in the Middle East, just let alone with Damascus. One day you're going to see Damascus a ruinous heap here in just a matter of no time flat, in a few years ahead. I'd almost guarantee it. And, man, yeah, the Great Illusion. We're getting on to that in just a second. You're exactly right on that, guys. But, you know, we have the book of Revelation. And literally we can see this stuff taking place before us. The whole deal with the RFID chip, here's the deal, guys, and I've said this before and I still stand behind it, is that people that take a mark in the forehead, mental agreement with the beast. A lot of y'all seen that ad. I'm telling you, anybody sounding the board here, just say if I'm wrong on it. It was crazy. But the people mental agreement, and then their works is in their hand, all right? Mental hand work, all right? And I'm telling you guys, you take that chip, you give up your personal sovereignty, you're ruined. You give mental agreement to the man of sin and this one world government coming, you're ruined. All right, it's over. And matter of fact, I want to read this right here in 2 Thessalonians. All right, this is in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. I want to read this one to you guys. I know I'm reading big chunks of scripture, but I just want to cover this. It says, now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Adonai Yahushua HaMashiach, and by our gathering together unto him, that ye be not soon shaken in mind or be troubled, neither by ruach, nor by word, nor by sefer, as from us, as that the day of Yahuwah is at hand. Let no man deceive you by any means. For that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. We're seeing this apostasy right now in Christianity. And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. That's the man of sin in Rome, the Pope. Everybody's looking for the Antichrist to come. He's sitting in Rome right now, folks. The 8th king, sitting right there, all right? Who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called Yah, or that is worshipped, right? These people say they can forgive sins, all right? So that or that is worshipped, so that he as Yah sits in the temple of Yahuwah, showing himself that he is Yahuwah. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now you know that what time holds that he might be revealed in his time, for the mystery of iniquity does already work. It was already at work in Paul's day, all right? Rome, pagan Rome has become papal Rome, folks. All right? Now, for the mystery of iniquity does already work. Only he who now will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that Torah-less one be revealed, whom Adonai Yahushua shall consume with the ruach of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Let me read that part again. They receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause Yah shall send them strong delusion. Who sends it? Yah shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. All right, now I know that's a mouthful, right? But y'all, thank you for everybody still with me at this point. Guys, I am telling you, so many people don't receive the love of the truth, don't care about the love of the truth. I used to be a deacon. All right, don't y'all come at me about you don't know what you're talking about. I have been right there in the midst of the clergy. I have been right there in the church house, and I have seen it. These people don't want to love the truth. Matter of fact, that I have been told by a pastor himself that had he went out there and told people the truth, he'd lose his job. He wasn't worried about the fact that I was right or wrong. It was the fact that if he went out there and told the people the truth, he'd be ousted, just like I was, right? And that's fine with it. I don't miss the church house. Now, number 4, all right, is faith walk out of Babylon. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, it's been a hard faith walk for me. The first thing I learned about was Sabbath. It took me right out of church. I mean, just blazing out the door out of church. It was about right after I'd become elected as a clergy member that I was like, man, I got to learn this stuff. I've got to be more rooted even now in the scripture than I ever been in my life, because I got to make sure and tell people the truth if they're asking for it. And I got to know where to find it, because I don't want to give my opinion. I want to give the truth. And boy, I'm telling you what, I believe that's when the Most High Yah looked down on me and was like, I'm going to start showing Luke the truth, because man, bombs just started dropping in my life. Sabbath, true Hebrews, flat earth, the Father's calendar, just bomb. I mean, he just bombed in my life, and I'm grateful for it. He can keep bombing on me. I want to learn all I can before the end comes and reflect that light. You know, it's funny. I checked out my name. Lucas means light. So let me reflect that light to my friends as much as I possibly can, and y'all bless you with it. So, you know, the thing is, if you look at many of us that have come up out of Babylon, now, and correct me, and you know, this is why I come in here, so we can all have freedom of speech, you know, just no cursing. And you're more than welcome to disagree with me, right? But for me, my walk out of Babylon, the faith, when I took that step out in faith, this is what was revealed to me. The man of sin in Rome. It was one of the first things I learned right along with Sabbath. The 8th king, the son of perdition, right? We got to do a talk one night about the 8 kings in the last days, because it spoke of 2nd Ezra, spoke of in Revelation, all right? I learned about that. I learned about the true people of the book and prophecy and the true identity. That's so important. I learned about flat earth, because that shut down evolution and showed true creation. Learned about the Father's calendar, shows true worship and true authority. Because if you look at Daniel 7:25, everybody gets twisted up about this, and I'm going to cover this in the next point. But if you look, there's only one entity in the world that meets the requirements for the man of sin, son of perdition. There's only one entity in the whole world that's done this, that has changed the appointed times and has changed his appointed laws, the commandments. Tried to, anyway. And that's Rome. That's the Roman Catholic Church. Now, we can all sit here and argue Saturday Sabbath, Sunday Sabbath all day long, folks, but that's on that Roman pagan calendar. And we've got to get back to the Father's lunar solar calendar. We can argue about keeping the 10 Commandments all day long. But I'm telling you what, it's still in the scripture, and I don't care what Rome tells me. Okay, I don't care about her twisted up version of them either. All right, but now those things right there was on my faith walk out of Babylon. And I learned that systematically. And I mean, the minute that I said, I want to know the truth, and started applying it, I mean, buddy, it started getting shown to me. And I think that's the thing is, I think it was Brother Matt pointed this out to me, and I'll go to the next point, is that you can only go as far as you're willing to receive. And forgive me, Brother Matt, if I misquote you, but pretty much y'all is only going to allow you that light if you're willing to receive it. You know, when you get to the point where you don't want to receive that light, you're not going to receive that light, okay? Because you willfully denied yourself that. It wasn't there to be visible or learned. You just decided not to partake in that. And a lot of people do that. And that's where I get to point number 5 right here. Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to stay on track on time. Is faith, you know, has always been that, my faith has always been that I'd hope that my family and friends would wake up. Absolutely, my friends, I'm grateful to be able to work. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to try to do everything I can for the kingdom while I still got breath of life in my lungs. Because when I'm gone, folks, you know, I'm out. I'm going to punch in on the time clock every day for the kingdom as long as I can. When I'm gone, I'm gone. I ain't perfect, but by goodness, I'm trying to get my life right. And it's always been in my faith walk, and I think this is another thing of pure faith, is that we want to see our family and friends saved. Um, but a lot of people are not going to wake up. A lot of us are going to be out here and die for the truth. And that faith, that pure faith for what we believe in, is going to hopefully wake them people up at that point. But I don't think a lot of them's going to wake up until they see that kind of persecution coming. And you know, it breaks my heart because I've tried to reason with people. I've tried to lay the truth in front of them, but a lot of people won't receive it. We're going to talk about opposition in the next point, but I'm just talking about receiving it right now. It's like these people ain't in opposition to you; they just don't want to receive it. And I think that's why that a lot of people are going to receive the strong delusion later, because how can you, like, if I died tonight, I know everything I believe in. When we do these live videos, right? I treat this as if I'm standing in the courtroom of the Most High Yah. I'm giving you evidence, and like if I was being judged today before the Father, it's like, Master Yah, this is your instructions. This is where I found this in your instructions. Um, hey, blessings, love you, witness of Yah. And as long as you're willing, people's willing to look at the truth and stand on it, I believe the Most High Yah is going to honor that. And at the end of the day, all that we have is all I have to submit to him at the end is that's the best. I went on the best information that I had at hand. And the strong delusion is already underway. That is the comment of the evening so far right there. Is, ladies and gentlemen, the strong delusion is underway. We can only do so much, guys. It's what I'm saying is, this is why I'm touching on this topic tonight, is pure faith. Oh, sorry, there I made Illuminati hand sign. People just so crazy. But anyway, that's why I touched on this tonight, is because that many people mean well, but they don't mean well enough that when you show them the truth, that they want to walk in it. I'll give you an example here in just a second. All right. Just one last thing I want to say on faith is, guys, I don't give up, but I'll tell you, I've learned this the hard way. I have tried to tell family about Messiah's true name, right? So they quit going to this one church in Babylon and went to another church. And the pastor uses the true name. Even though it's a S-U-N-D church, he says Yeshua. And I'm like, so because he told y'all it, now you're going to apply that. But you looked me sideways when I told you the truth. Got it. And I've learned that hard way, that people, you can talk with your family, friends, you can reason with them all day long, but they're just going to look you sideways. All right. And I don't have the time to do the mental gymnastics to play their games. I love people. I tell it to people. But if you don't want to receive it, that's your business. Now, the other flip side of that in faith is we're going to have opposition. If you love me, you keep my commandments. That's it, guys. That's it. And we're going to have opposition. And you got to stand in faith. Ladies and gentlemen, I have worked with people, and I have done good by them, whether it be friends, family, ministry, business, and turn right around and they just stab me in the back or throw me under the bus or blast me. And it's because that, I just have different walk than they do. And all I've tried to ever do, anybody correct me right now. Have you ever heard me talk down anybody on this channel, anybody in the Torah community? All you ever see is me trying to build people up. Now, y'all can't knock me for Joel Osteen, T.D. Jakes, man. I blast him all the time. But I don't want to tear nobody down. I want to build people up. And matter of fact, that reminds me, Pastor William Brown will be joining me soon. I think what we're going to do, guys, is when I do interviews with people, I'm going to set up another TV monitor, not in this area, but in another area. I'll have it set up. I'm going to FaceTime that individual so I can still talk to them and then still have the screen visible here. And y'all can see the FaceTime interaction and then that person talking. So you get an actual one-on-one kind of interview, but it ain't a split screen thing. And that way, hopefully, there won't be a lag on the live feed. I'm trying to get that set up. I've got people to interview because I just want to shut up, let them talk to y'all. You get familiar with other people's channels, other people's content, because, guys, I'm telling y'all, You don't think it might be a big deal, but you wait till December 10th comes and people start dropping on, bodies start dropping on YouTube, all right? Channels start going, you're going to be like, man, Luke told me another truth and I didn't listen. You better start downloading people's content that matters to you. If you see anything on my channel that's of use to you, guys, feel free to download it. Chop it up. Make it into your own content. I don't care. All right? I mean, literally, I don't care. You know, I've told people many times I've used some of the content off his channel for other documentaries. Use it, because the time's coming they're going to shut people down. All right. Now, I see some people in there's network. Joel Osteen is obvious devil. Y'all, hey, y'all want to go drop him some coin and go to the Kanye West concert with it? I think he paid $50,000 to bring him down. Now, I'm telling y'all, guys, there's a lot of deception going on there. But the thing I want to say is we've got to have faith. And on this point right here, you've got to have faith against opposition, because now the thing is, we're going to be opposed. Especially, listen, the three fundamental pillars I get opposed on all the time. Kanye's deception. I feel that way too, guys. I feel like that's nothing more than a great deception. But I pray he gets saved. I pray, I really do. But at least Joel Osteen. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to be careful on some of these comments. I see it. I just got to be careful how I respond to some of that stuff. I don't want to get us kicked up off YouTube here. The three fundamental pillars that we're all going to be opposed, and I talk to everybody all the time, especially on Sabbath at fellowship. And I want to say, I'll touch back on another point in just a second. Sorry, guys, my mind's all over the place now. There's so much I wanted to say on this. But flat earth, true Hebrews, Father's calendar, constant opposition, constant opposition. I've had to have faith to keep walking this thing out, because it's always opposition. It's always been that way. It's going to continue to be that way right up to the end. Now, I wanted to say something. You know, we were talking about James saying, show your faith with works, right? Why is everybody so afraid of YouTube new rules and last thing? Because here's the deal, guys. The people that control the media control the message. And I can sit here all day and reason with people, tell people the truth, show you as much love as possible. But if they pull the plug on me, that's it. I mean, that's it. I mean, yeah, we've got a website, soundtheloudcry.com. You know, I do a lot of other stuff in ministry work, but like actually all of us network and communicating, it's hard. It's going to be hard for a lot of people at that point. You know, you can go to BitChute, you can go to a lot of different places, but it's nothing to the quality of content that YouTube's been able to provide for people. And that's why that a lot of us are concerned. But what I was going to say, on touch back on one last point before I cover the last point, is James was talking about, I'll show you my faith with my works. People will all the time say, well, I have faith. I have faith. And it's like, I pray the Most High helps the homeless. I pray he does this for me. I have faith he'll help. It's like, and you are his hands and feet on this earth. So help somebody. I'm sitting there beside a stack of sleeping bags and those little styrofoam bowls that we're going to, I guess, put chili in on New Moon. New Moon coming up, we're going down to help the homeless in Knoxville. Guys, listen, probably just lost a reward in heaven for telling you that, right? Because we're supposed to do and not say that out, right? But the thing is, I'm just making a point that having faith that the homeless are going to be helped means we get on our feet and go down there and help them people. Y'all following with me? And that's the problem. Pure faith nowadays, all I ever hear, especially all these Christians, is like, I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to pray about it. I'm like, why don't you do something about it while you're praying about it, right? You know, I mean, and that's, but now this, I've said if y'all stayed with me until now it's going to make sense, everything I've said, all right? Point number 7, Messiah's return. If we look at those that enter into the kingdom, it's Revelation chapter 12, verse 14, chapter 14, and I think it's 22. It's chapter 12, chapter 14, and I believe it's chapter 21 and 22, 21 or 22. There's 3 times in there it's stated that pretty much Baruch are those that keep the commandments and have faith in Messiah. Those are the ones that's going to enter into the kingdom. You know, and I think it's Isaiah either chapter 56 or chapter 58. Guys, this stuff just keeps coming to my mind. Is that, you know, we're to be the restorer of the breach. And for those keeping Sabbath tomorrow by the Looney Solar Scriptural Calendar, shout out to y'all, guys. We're going to have a discussion about contending for the Father's calendar. I've got a whole note list. And I want to go ahead and put this one out there. if you want to look in Yashar chapter 88, and you want to look in, let's see, it's Yashar chapter 88. This will give you the rest of the information, and then of course the Battle of Jericho in Scripture. If you want to look into this, it states that New Moon Day. Okay, they started on New Moon. You can pretty much see they started on New Moon Day. The battle went on. And then, so there's 7 days this battle went on. You're like, well, one of those days has to be Sabbath. And in the book of Maccabees, we find that people didn't want to fight on Sabbath. So, you don't want to break the Sabbath. So how can Sabbath be in any of those 7 days? But if you count New Moon Day, 6 working days, the following day is Sabbath. You can't find that on any other calendar. That's just one little grain of truth for the Luni Solar Scriptural Calendar validation for it. I mean, at some point, people's going to have to come to accept it, guys. But we're going to get on that in a future video. But here we go. In Luke chapter 18, verse 8, this is what I want to read to you. All right? It says the following. I tell you, he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man comes, shall he find belief on the earth? That is an interesting question. Why would Messiah say that? Would we have belief on earth? And the thing to be answered to that is this. There was a poll done. All right. Now the link is in the video description below if you want to check this out. All right. There was a poll done. And it said that 79%, this was churches that was polled. All right. That they went to like mainstream churches and they went to evangelical churches. All right, so this is modern Christianity. This is why I call it Church of Shamity. All right, a poll was done, and this is just an excerpt of information from this. So go read the full article. It's down below. Says that 79% found that faith was important in their life. Evangelicals was 36% on this one thing that I'm about to mention, and 14% on mainline churches. This was what their percentage was about. 14% of them believe Messiah exclusively provides the way to eternal life. 36% of evangelicals believe this way also. So 36% of actual evangelicals and 14% of mainline churches. So your good old Joel Osteen churches, stuff like that, right? These are the people that occupy these seats, right? John 14 and 6, for those that are any bit confused, in the Hebrew, it should read, Yeshua Amar Elayin, Ani Hadarek Vehaimet Vehayim Lo Esh Boel Ha'avila Darki. And for anybody that doesn't know Hebrew, what that reads in English is Yeshua said unto them, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father except by me. So unless you a special kind of stupid, if you need to take a poll and you're in the church house, if you don't believe that Messiah is exclusively the only provider to eternal life through his sacrifice and keeping the commands of the Father, you got problems, all right? And ladies and gentlemen, this is why I say that pure faith today, all right, is a hard thing to come by. We are rare people that really believe, all right? Right here, it gets even worse. There's an ecumenicalism link below. Now, if you don't know what ecumenicalism is, that's a coming together of all these interfaiths. All right, Venmo's a good place to upload too. I've seen that comment on the feed here. Ecumenicalism is pretty much from Roman Catholicism. It's pretty much a bringing together of all these faiths under one body. Of course, the Pope's wanting to be the head of all that, right? 83% of those people polled. Now, y'all don't fall up out of your chair tonight and have a heart attack when I tell you this a second, all right? I don't want to be responsible. I've warned you ahead of time, so go ahead and take a deep breath, all right? 83% of them thought that many religions lead there to eternal life. Let me read that again. 83% of the people they polled in church think that many religions lead to salvation. And y'all asking me why I'm sitting here making this video about pure faith tonight. Can I get a like dropped on here after that comment? I mean, that's why I'm sitting here contending for the faith. Now, here's another one. Only 22% of this group even believe that the Bible is fully inspired, while another 28% believe that it is just a book written by men and not the word of Elohim. I ain't even joking. Guys, I put the link below. You're going to fall out of the seat when you continue to read the whole article. I'm just giving you excerpts and highlights. This is insanity. I believe that one of the contributing problems with the belief system of this, all right, is evolution. belief of evolution is a major contributing factor. And abuse of Paul's writings, I believe, is another contributing factor. But that's right, written by men, but were inspired by the set apart Spirit, folks. And that's what we got to understand. That's what we got to understand. That's why when people say, like, well, I'll have a conversation with people about the Father's calendar, and I'll be like, right here, moon, it says when the moon goes dark, that's the end of the month. Right here, when the light starts to return, that's the beginning of a month. All right, it's cut and dry. I mean, here's Father's calendar, here's how it works, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, I don't consider the book of Enoch inspired. I'm like, all right, I'm like, before anybody has a conversation anymore, I think what we need to have, everybody wants to have a debate. There's only three things that I'm willing to have a peaceful, moderated public discussion. I don't do debates. I do public discussion because it's up to you to decide for yourself whether you want to walk in that truth or not. People's like, well, I won the debate. Well, you might have won the debate by public opinion, but society's not my savior. So I don't really care if the public thought that you won the debate. A lot of people can win an election by a popular vote, but then, we turn around the next morning and the Electoral College elected somebody else. See, I think it's dangerous when people say, I want to debate, I want to debate, I want to debate. All that is I'm trying to push my thought down your throat. What I say is have a public discussion where people can decide for themselves, because I want you to have free will. So I would debate with people about the Father's people, or have a public civil discussion. I would have a public civil discussion about the Father's calendar, and I would have a public civil discussion about the flat earth, because I have seen people come to the truth because of this, right? Right, or the so-called Hebrew Israelite, or were the so-called black people. Now, it's just like I'm a Gentile by flesh, but by the Spirit I've converted to serve y'all. I ain't serving no other Elohim. I ain't bending my knee to nobody else. I'll die on my feet. I ain't serving any of these other false deities. I'm out. All right? I ain't going back to church else either. Now, I'm going to tell you all real quick here before I wrap this up right here. I am here because of flat earth. There you go. Shout out to Jason, brother. That's right. Listen, I'm going to tell you guys, I have somebody very precious to me in my life that come to the truth because of flat earth. And then they showed me that dinosaurs was a lie. Guys, I mean, like, people laugh at some of these doctrines that are taught, especially the Father's calendar. And I set up over here, most will not believe your own kin. That's right, guys. Here's the thing that kills me. The one that kills me the worst. And I know I beat this up all the time, but somebody help me out here. Is I look and people's like, well, you're messed up. You're doing false doctrine by keeping the Father's calendar. And I'm like, hold up. You keep the New Year by, you keep the feast by, and I still end up on the same worship days as you. But you looking at me sideways because I count off from the Father's timepiece in the heaven. Right. Gotcha. And, same thing, I'm like, people argue with me about Father's people, and I look over and I'm like, was Messiah the only white guy in the Middle East? I'm like, come on. I mean, this is what I'm saying, guys, like, we live in an age where there's no need for a debate anymore. I see people out here all the time debating. I see people all the time taking shots at people all the time. And there's no need for none of that. I mean, just lay it all out there as it is. Let it ride. Because I'm telling you, World's Last Chance, for example, showed a lot of things about the Father's calendar, and that woke me up. But the thing is, the last statement I'll say on this whole topic tonight is without the faith to look at it in Scripture and just walk it out. I went from Sunday church to Saturday. I obviously knew that the seventh day wasn't Sunday. Now that I did know. And then, of course, later finding out about the planetary week, and then, of course, the stick calendar, where Saturday used to be the first day of the week on the Roman calendar, and all this and all the paganism and everything. You have to let stuff go. But, yeah, it's exactly right. The set-apart Spirit speaks truth. Guys, that burning sensation inside, it's not the deception in your heart. Okay, we feel emotionally moved at times with stuff, but that is emotions. When you feel that deep tingling in inside of you to do that which is right, to seek things out to see if they be so. When you feel that burning that you need to walk in it, dude, you need to walk in it. I mean that's just straight up. But uh, you know, last point is 2 Corinthians 5:7 says, "For we walk by belief, not by sight." Um, you know, the bad thing about it is we live in a generation where we just use the trumpets. We'll just stay off some of the talking points I talk on a lot, but you just look at the trumpets, dude. We don't even need to have blind faith anymore. We can see that the trumpets are just a matter of years away or months. Who knows? But I mean, we're living in the last days, the end of days, and people need to come up out of the slumber, out of the church house, and I give up on people for. Hey Tony, I see you in there, guys. There's a lot of folks up in the house tonight. It's great seeing everybody. But guys, hope that was a help to you. What I shared. I'm going to be having an event I'm working with some people to put an event together for spring before Passover. That we're going to have a get together. It's going to be in Knoxville. I know the venue will definitely be in Knoxville, but pretty much going to have some pastors come in. Some people come in from all over. We're going to have discussions about the trumpets, about the Father's calendar, about the Father's people. It's just going to be like a wide wake up all across the board about a multitude of topics. And, I hope it's a help to people. I just want to help people get as much information as you can to make a sound decision, because that's the thing. We're being inundated with lies. We're having Foot Locker commercials mock of those of us that are awake, and just sick of it. So it's time. It's time to try to help wake as many people up, excuse me, as I possibly can. So with that said, we're at the 52-minute mark, guys. I will kick it on here for about 25-30 minutes with you. So, fire away on the comments. I'm paying attention. Let's see what. Let's see, somebody said, my wife laughed about you saying when you have a deep tingling inside, then you immediately cough. She said it was very funny. Guys, I've been coughing all day, man. I'm a sign of strainage this winter, man. It's just terrible. If you easily fit, all right, I'm going to start reading off some of these comments here, guys, on the chat. It says, let there be light. Says, if you easily fit in and everybody loves you, that's a good sign you're not walking in the way. Man, oh man. Second best comment of the night on there. I'm going to tell you what. One thing I learned is when I really tried to get my life together, when I really started to try to apply everything right, dude, people will cut you hard. I thought as times progressed, I would have to cut people out of my life. Man, I am at 34 years old, and folks, I am still learning out here. I'm telling you what, one thing you will learn is that as you continue to walk out the truth, people will cut you out. They'll walk right out of your life. Family, friends, husbands, wives, business partners, best friends for life. I mean, everybody, man, they'll just out. And I mean, the way I say it is like this. I don't care if it's your pastor or your partner. I don't care if it's your boss man or your best friend. If they ain't adding to your life, if they're hindering your walk, cut them. Come out among them and be separate. That's a great comment by Witness of Yahuwah. Wait for the Super Bowl commercial. Dude, guys, now I used to watch football, and I don't watch it anymore. I don't. But now, I have to say that if you look at the YouTube clips of Super Bowls, all right, there's all sorts of junk that a satanic Illuminati that's out there. Give me just a second. Can you comment on Antarctica, under ice, other animals unknown, what you think is going on there? Guys, I don't know what's up with Antarctica, because here's the deal, and we can talk flat earth one night. they're never going to let us go down there. All right, because after Operation High Jump, after Admiral Byrd went down there and got to the ice wall and touched the dome, I'm sure they know what's going on. And then, of course, with Operation Fishbowl, trying to shoot their way out and do a Nimrod, I mean, they know what's going on. So, I mean, we're never going to be informed as to what really is going on out there. And what's weird to me is if you look at the accounts of sailors and people that went down there, there's apparently hurricanes and all sorts of crazy stuff that goes on down near Antarctica. And matter of fact, there was this article published that y'all need to go check it out. It's on Rob Skiba's channel. I believe Rob Skiba covered it too because I seen the article at the same time. And guys, I'm sorry. When I see stuff, I should start just like doing a quick video and be like, go check this out. If it's of substantial value, just go check it out. But apparently it was the Orthodox is it Orthodox Roman Church? I think it's the Orthodox Church. The main guy, it's not on the level of the Pope, but anyway, he went and took an artifact that they found apparently in a dig in the Middle East. They took it down to that little church they got down there in Antarctica, done some kind of ceremony, and then took it out and dropped it off. And out in the middle of the outer rim or whatever, around the ring. And apparently, people say that that's where the angels used to gather. I think it's saying's been said that's where the angels used to gather at the beginning of the creation of the world and everything else. So who knows what's out there? I mean, who knows what's out there? So it's no telling. Let's see what else somebody said. Let's see. Governments are help hiding the fallen. Guys, I'm going to tell you, most of the technology, a lot of the things that we have today, I'm telling you exactly where that knowledge come from was the fallen angels. Ain't a doubt in my mind. A matter of fact, the more I look at ancient civilizations, I believe there was a lot of technology that was around. What is that scripture from Solomon that there is no thing new under the sun? Let's see, check these. Yeah, all right, now, I want to tell y'all something. I'm going to scroll back up the comments, guys, in a minute. I'm just giving everybody a minute to write all their stuff down, but you all need to be super vigilant because now I'm telling you, I've never come on here and been like conspiracy theorists about YouTube and stuff. But now I made a video maybe it has been a couple months ago. I work so much and travel the country that I can't even keep up with myself anymore. But YouTube is out to get content creators. And guys, they are very systematic and they are very open about who they're wanting. The flat earth videos were right out there and open. I mean, that fringe stuff, that they would consider extreme views and things like that. I mean, December 10th is a purge. Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, December 10th is the purge. That's about the best word I could give it to. I really hope I'm here with you after the 10th, guys. I don't crave media attention. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I remember when there was only a few people followed this channel, and I just thought I was helping the world, And then it got to be tens of thousands, and then 50,000, and now we're up 60-something thousand. I think trade pigeons for communication, and it joys my soul to know how many people's been helped by this channel. Because I'm gonna tell y'all. The truth is fire to those heathens. That's right, guys. I'm going to scroll back comments just a second, but I'm going to tell y'all, I remember when I come up out of Babylon, and I think World's Last Chance, Amazing Facts by Seventh-day Adventist Church, even though I know it's still part of Babylon, but there was just very few places out there I could get any info. And, that's another thing. Somebody just said that comment. Do y'all know that they're trying to shut down people doing ham radio, too? I'm telling you guys, it is a systematic purge of communication for people to get conversation going anymore. Let's see. Excuse me. Give me just a second, guys. Luke, what about supercapacitors for solar on demand? Does it work? Not familiar with that. Guys, I'll be honest with you. Something I've been wanting to work on for a long time is the power triangle, where you can connect an antenna. It comes down, it goes through capacitors and blocking diodes. And you got your true earth ground in the center of that triangle antenna, and then your positive negative DC. And then from there, run that into an MPPT charge controller and reap that to a battery bank, and you'd have constant power being pulled from the kinetic field. And Tesla done it with a, I can't remember if it's a Model T he done it with. I think it got up like 60-something mile an hour on the road, 60 or 80 mile an hour. And it was incredible, you know, and I would just love to see that kind of power out there be given. Okay, why do you teach about off the grid living? Shouldn't believers be in the middle of chaos preaching the word like Jonah and facing tribulation with strong faith and joy? All right, that is a great question, Jason Tremater. Here's the deal. It says, come out of her, my people. We got to get out of the cities. We got to get out of Babylon. I believe it was a Seventh-day Adventist church pointed this out to me, and it's a great point, is that you've got to get away from it just like Lot come out of Sodom and Gomorrah. Because the city's going to be destroyed. The wicked's going to be destroyed. Now, you can live out in the country and go into the city and talk to people. But at the end of the day, you need to leave. Because wickedness abounds there. All right, destruction is coming. Dude, y'all, listen to me. Listen to me. If you've ever listened to anything I've ever said on this channel, listen to two things. Salvation's only through faith in Messiah and keeping the Ten Commandments. All right? That's the only way you're going to get there, right? Second thing is if I could ever get up out of this place, I would leave America. Dude, if somebody showed up at my doorstep tonight and said, hey, here's $1 million. First thing I'd do, I'd go drive my truck off the mountainside on like 321 over here. I'd let that sucker burn up. I'd go get go to the blood bank lab and get some blood, just throw it all over in my vehicle. I go down here and what was it? Epstein's plane was called the Lolita Express. I might need to drop them a call, but hey, I ain't want to go to Pedo Island. I just need you to, apparently you know how to log people on your plane that you don't ever write their name down. So why don't y'all, one of you nice pilots down here at the airport, just do the same thing like the Epstein crew done? Here's your 20 grand. I'm just going to leave here, go to another place, like Costa Rica or whatever, and we're going to forget that I know you and you know me, right? And let people think I died for all I care, and just leave, because America's going to get judged. I mean, this dude, this country has mistreated the Father's people, used them, abused them. Deuteronomy 28 them, and it's coming. There is retribution and payment coming. The due date is a coming for retribution on this land for the wickedness that's been done to Israel. All right, I don't want to be around when it comes. Let's see what we're gonna. All right, what can you teach that more detail, please? I have the MPPT already. All right, guys, listen. I'm gonna start doing off-grid live videos. I was thinking about this. If I can get enough time in between the week, you just gotta understand. I run and gun across. I gotta go to Kansas, then I gotta go to Middle Tennessee. I'm just all over the place. But I'm gonna start trying to do a off-grid live and actually teaching stuff like right here on the video. Build it with you, teach you all the ins and outs. And then I'm still going to, before Sabbath, sit and do this because I enjoy this time with us fellowshipping. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to keep up with you. No problem. You're welcome, Jason. A lot of us will have to be saved to carry the gospel. Prepping. Yeah. We're gonna. Some of us gonna have to be left for messengers. Absolutely. To get the word out. The world system with the cities and government is Babylon. Yep, and the great whore Babylon, the Roman Catholic Church, is out here leading the way. There's a guy on YouTube that builds a 12-volt supercapacity battery bank replacement for daylight on-demand solar. I'll have to check that out, guys. What do you think about Paul and his teachings in the New Testament? All right, Annette, I'm going to pause right there and answer that. Listen, guys. Do I believe Paul was inspired? I believe Paul's writings are inspired work. This is what I'll say. Is if you think Paul thought the law was done away with, y'all lost your mind. Anybody believes that, they're crazy. Period. I'd tell a pastor right to their face. I don't care if you got titles, deacon, pastor, prophet, whatever. I don't care. You start tossing away the Father's word, and I'm going to toss you away like garbage. All right? You vote with your money, you vote with your feet, you vote with your heart. Keep that in mind, folks. All right? So, with that said, I mean, Paul loved the law. Yeah, guys. I mean, Paul was practically a lawyer, if you ask me. I mean, you can just see it in the way that he wrote, the way that the eloquentness of what he wrote, and the law is righteous. I mean, like, uh, uh, Paul defended the law, and the thing is if you look at his writings, um, he's always addressing a certain place, a certain issue, a certain people at a certain time in the history of humanity. I tell people this all the time. That's when I'm addressing this. I mean, Paul understood the law better than most. That's right, Deonica. That is right. I tell you, he knows it a lot better than these pastors and teachers today. What's happening December 10th? Carrie, they are going to purge a lot of YouTube channels pretty much, hon. All nations will be judged. There's nowhere to hide. Um, that is true, guys. But I'm going to be honest with you. And I mean no disrespect to anybody who lives in a third world country. But listen to me. I've lived in a 2-story nice home on a golf course by a lake. I've lived in a double wide trailer. Lived in a tiny house and will continue to live in a tiny house once I get it remodeled, move back in. Lived in an apartment. Lived on a farm. I've lived in a lot of places. I slept on a dirty floor in a cabin in the middle of nowhere in Alaska and worked for months on end. I've just been a lot of different places in my life. And the thing is I look at it like this. If I live in a third world country and it's a crap hole, and I wake up every day in a crap hole, then I live here in America that's a first world country and stuff goes to pot and then it becomes a crap hole. Would it not be wiser to go to a lessly populated crap hole where that when stuff does go all to crap, it's just another day? Does that make sense? And I'm no disrespect to anybody. This is my reasoning, right? Um, I mean, that's just where I'm at with it. And America's just too many people's in a state of comfort. And when things go to crap here, guys, people are going to lose their mind and do terrible things to each other. Um, yeah, that's another thing. Let there be light. 125,000 abortions a day. There will be judgment go out of her. Um, yeah, all this country does is murder people. Epstein was a pilot and trainer in Florida. He trained 911. Oh, I didn't know that. Um, Let me see here, guys. Man, y'all burning it up tonight. I can't keep up with you. Electric taxi cars, 1800s in New York. I didn't know that. I have to check it out. Okay, they have outlawed ham radio in California. I thought I saw something about that, but I didn't know for sure. I don't like to comment, guys, unless I see and know for sure. I'm an it is written kind of guy, and even with it is written, I like to have multiple witnesses. That's why whenever we share this stuff here, I like to give you multiple witness. Let me see here. Because we will share in the punishments of the wicked. He won't separate the people. That's right. We got to get out away from this bunch, folks. If the Most High chooses to save you, you will be saved. And here's the thing, guys. There's a scripture talks about those that receive the mark are those that have not been written in the Lamb's Book of Life, slain from the foundation of the world. And the way I look at that situation, I'm like, all right, that tells me it's just like buying a 2x4 to build a tiny house like I do every day when I'm home and helping my buddy Randy at Incredible Tiny Homes. If you want to check them out, I know that the minute that 2x4 bundle hits the stack and we're starting to build that home, that I'm going to cut off 1 foot off each of those 2x4s, right? To make it 72 inches or 84 or whatever, 96, and it's like, or 96 the overall length, but you know what I'm saying? I'm going to cut off X amount. I knew from the very beginning that piece of board was going to get cut off. And I feel like that's exactly how the Most High knew from the get-go. It's like, I'm going to give these people free will. I'm going to create these individuals, but they're not going to serve me. And one day they're going to be destroyed. And, hey, thank you for the time you spend doing this. Absolutely, guys. Listen, I'm not a rich man, but I think that I'm rich in love, and I do whatever I can to help you guys while I can, because our time's getting short of getting to communicate. Let's see. The dollar collapse is about here. Are you ready? Yep. It's a coming, guys. It's absolutely coming. There is nowhere that will go untouched by the Most High's vengeance. I agree with that. Guys. The trumpet's gonna affect the whole world. That's why I'm saying it's like we know America is a huge power player in the last days. Great wickedness comes from this land. Great false teachings, great murders, great sorceries, witchcraft, pedophilia, abortions, the whole 9 yards. And just with that in mind, we know that judgment's coming to this country, and that's why I'm saying that if you could get away from it, I think it's a great decision. Um, I'll check that out, Terrence, about Jeremiah 31 and Yirmiyahu. I get you. Let's see, 100%. The less population, the better people will be the biggest threat. Yeah. Somebody said, learn what plants can be eaten in the wild, learn how to hunt, for the mark will be soon. Guys, that's true. That is very true. Somebody said, I think there was a CERN before Noah, Tower of Babel, gate to Ale. Guys, listen, anything that went on in the past, I believe we are seeing a duplication of that now. Nothing new under the sun. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that there is technology that probably was, and this is my thoughts. I can't give you a thus saith Yahweh. I can't give you out of the scripture. All right, this is Luke's mind for a moment, okay? But I think that personally, there is things that we have not seen technologically, like flying disc and technological levitation and all this stuff, that was probably during Noah's day and during the time frame of ancient people, ancient civilizations, that we ain't seeing today because it's being hid from us because the fallen angels showed it. Yeah, I mean, it's just no telling what we're not seeing. Let's see. Somebody said, I'm no prophet, but I really get the sense communication will be highly restricted very soon. I do too, my friend. Shalom, Donna. Love yous too. Let's see here. Somebody said, Georgia Guidestones. Yeah, guys, if you haven't looked into Georgia Guidestones, you really need to check that out. Man, y'all got some fire comments in here tonight. From what I read, let's see. All right, somebody said, all right, your purpose and mission might be here in this land. You're already making an impact. He will guide you accordingly. And guys, that's the thing, talking about faith tonight. I agree. Who knows? My mission may be to die in this land. I feel like, I tell y'all, friends could say, well, Luke, if you looked at your own future, and I'm not a soothsayer, I'm not trying to partake in witchcraft, so y'all follow what I'm saying very careful. But I've looked at my future many times, just visualizing, like, what's probably to come of me. And I'm so defiant and rebellious. I was sitting at the DMV with my ex-wife the other day, and we were helping our son get a learner's permit. And she looked over at me and she said, you're so rebellious. And I was just like, everybody that knows me, that is close to me, knows how rebellious and defiant I am. If you ask me to do something, I'll go out of my way to help you. Matter of fact, I'll do anything I possibly can to help people, especially for the kingdom, if it's in my power. But if you tell me to do something, I'll go right the other direction. Go right the other direction, just because you told me I had to do it. That's how I am. And I feel like that when they tell me I'm going to have to bend down a knee to the New World Order and the Hashatan, I'm just going to be like, you know what? Explicitive, you. Let me help you out again with that. Explicitive, you. I'm not doing it. Because I'm not going to curse on this channel. But I think I'll let loose my ever-loving mind. And then they'll drag me out in the street, strap me down the guillotine, and that's the end of that. Because they're going to silence the people that speak for the truth. They're going to silence the people that contend for the faith. And I feel like, guys, that'll how my end is too. And, when the lights go out in our life, next conscious thought's going to be the kingdom anyway and the resurrection. So, I try to find peace with it. We're all going to face pain and persecution and death. And I'd much rather go out a martyr than to die laying in the bed fighting cancer or some crazy something like that, and y'all help anybody that's in that situation, But, that's just my thought on that. Sorry, I don't mean to digress so long on that. Let me see what somebody said up here. Yeah, fallen angel technology, guys. I'm telling you, it's everything. What you suggest? Okay, Sharon Jackson. What you suggest for two single women living in an apartment? All right, listen. Let me see what time signature is so I can keep up with you guys. Guys, I'm going to kick it for about 15 more minutes. I'm going to get off here because I think the live feed will cut. I'm at 90. If you are single, married, widow, divorced, a child, thank you for the $10 donation, Donna. I appreciate that, hon. That's going to help with the gas going up to help Brother Ron in Michigan next month. I truly appreciate that, guys. Love y'all. It will not go wasted. But thing is, you need to, everybody, I have my bag. Now, I'm not being a hypocrite right now. I don't try to tell y'all do something that I don't do myself, right? My bag is in my vehicle right now. You need to always have a water, a life straw. I encourage everybody to have a life straw. I don't get no kickback for what I'm about to tell you, sorry. But I need to have at least a couple big lighters. They're easy throwaway. Now I have the other water straw too that is for radioactive contaminant because I'm gonna be honest with you. The stuff they're spraying in the sky, heavy metals and all that junk. I just think it's great to have a backup. If you have a natural stream, use the live straw. But if you, and this stuff we'll cover in a live on prepping and off grid. But and maybe that's what I'll do next week. Just do it about prepping. But need to have fire starting equipment, shelter, heat source, because guys almost froze to death in Alaska. Y'all a bunch of people out here that laugh at them little 99-cent reflective blanket things. I'll never laugh at that again in my life. Matter of fact, I'll buy those and put them up. Like if a homeless person needs it, anybody needs one of those for their bag, try to toss it to them because I'm telling you, it saved my life in Alaska. Just simple stuff that we can put in a bug out bag and need to do that because I'm telling you, if you have to grab and go, at least you've got the bare necessities, shelter, a water source. Because, I mean, you need to have some bottled water with you and stored water. But, I mean, the thing is, if you can take you something, you can get, water's everywhere in this world, guys. I mean, it's in, water's an abundant source in a lot of places. So if you could just have something to filter it, that's the main thing with that. But, yeah, fire starting. They've got them calorie bars. That's a great thing to have and put in your bag, hon. And I highly encourage this. Guys, this is like a go-to. I think something I've failed on lately and I've got to be vigilant about is I need to start carrying an extra set of clothes. I cannot tell you how many times at the tiny house factory alone or on a job site I get soaked and I don't have anything else to change into. I've got jackets and extra stuff, but I don't have a regular core set of clothes, and that's something that people definitely need to have. But we can get into this stuff next week. Let's see here where we're at. All right. We are repeating history for the last time. You're right about that, guys. Yeah, now that's a great suggestion. Get married to a man, fear the Most High, one husband, and let the Most High guide you. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you, if you can find a partner that keeps the faith, absolutely find you a good partner. Chris said, Chris Chambers, I'm ready for it too. Take me away. I believe that was at the time point I was talking about giving up your head for a witness. I agree, brother. Whatever's got to be done, y'all's will be done. Somebody said I tried to make a purchase at a New York store and was going to pay cash and told me they do not take cash anymore, only credit and debit. I think implementing the chip is slowly coming. Absolutely. The wand wave pad thing is like at Olive Garden now. You can do the wand wave pad thing at the gas stations. Sorry, give me just a second. I want to see where the time signature is at 9:18 so I can keep up with this. I've seen all sorts of stuff for the new chip technology. So, guys, when it comes to transition to your hand, like keep in mind, folks, in Michigan, in United States, in Michigan, this is already present. This is already present. People are taking a chip in their hand. See, I used to talk about this stuff, and people are like, you are stupid, Luke. You are a conspiracy theorist, and your mind's all whack, and you're an idiot, and blah, blah. And now I'm like, check out this news article, sucker. I'm like, check out this news article. And I only told you that 4 or 5 years ago. Who's stupid now? I mean, like, guys, it's coming. You're right. Let's see here. Man. Do I have any insight for what's coming in Europe? Guys, I don't know. With everybody throwing the Muslim immigration out now and trying to remove that from y'all, I don't know what's going to go on in Europe. Like the last time I was over in Germany, it's clean up out of hand in places. And went over there to work. And I don't know. My heart goes out to y'all because, I mean, there's so many displaced people in y'all's countries now that Europe ain't even Europe. It's like Euro-Islam, Eurolam. I mean, it's just, it's not the Europe that used to be. So I don't know, man. And I don't know enough to even comment properly, but I know this. America and Europe is two of the most messed up places in the world right now because Middle East always been a mess. But I mean, it's really, our countries are really getting messed up. Um, let's see. Boy, I tell you what, any of y'all stuck up in Cali, out there in California, y'all be with you, man. Everybody I know that's got up out of Cali, including family. Hey, we didn't want they do. If I took a poll today, I'd get 0% that wanted to go back to that wasteland. I'm telling you, every time I go out there and work and do solar for people, I get my paycheck, I get out of town. Man, the ocean's nice, the food's nice, but that's it. I'm out. The trees are nice. Live straw is great to clean water. Absolutely. It's one of the best that you can get. Um, no, no more replumbing, right, Dad? I don't know, John. What we talking? No more replumbing. I don't know, buddy. I don't know what that. You'll have to drop me a comment on what you're talking about on that one. Um, my son's watching tonight. That must be a reference back to where I got in that mess the other day, man. Oh man, don't want no more crap. That's right. I was working on a utility thing the other day, guys, and the sewer line exploded all over me, and I was just covered in crap. And I was like, goodness mercy. It took 2 washings to get all that mess off me. I'm telling y'all, shout out to all my plumber brothers out there. I'll stick with electrical work. Um, Man. Okay, somebody said, I've been waiting for y'all to give me a husband, but no men are the same level spiritual with me. And guys, that goes both ways. That goes for us men too. Let me tell you, I look at a woman anymore. The first thing I look at, I don't care if you're a 9 or a 7 or an adjustable 6 or whatever you want to call it. The first thing I look for, I'm like, she got zits on. I'm like, she got fringes. It's the first thing I look at. Because a woman that is not ashamed to wear fringes, she's probably very comfortable with who she is. Because she's willing to honor the Father right there. I mean, she's obviously putting the kingdom first. Because I'm telling you, people look me up sideways when I got fringes on. I'm like, I don't give a care. I'm like, I ain't probably gonna see you ever again in my life. And matter of fact, you can laugh at me. You probably ain't even gonna be up in the kingdom. You don't even probably know what them fringes are. And I don't mean to be cruel to people, guys. I'm just like, I'm being a realist anymore. And men, I don't care. I'm just, this is about to be adult content right here for a second, all right? This is adult content so you got children watching, just need to batten down the hatches on them ears for a minute. But I don't care how large her breasts are, how large her butt is, how beautiful her face is. If the woman don't love y'all, if she ain't got the respect to cover herself modestly, dress modestly, and she don't want to wear fringes, and she don't want to submit to her husband, why the flip do you want that? I mean, I love my brothers out here. Whether you're Gentile or whether you're Hebrew Israelite, but guys, I mean, y'all get with some terrible women, you let them wreck your life, and then you wonder what's going on. It's like, well, for one, don't go get a pagan. I mean, that's a great starting point. And if women wouldn't dress, women will dress so whorish, and they'll be like, I can't believe he's looked at me like that. It's like, how about you put some clothes on? He wouldn't look at you like you're a whorish woman. I mean, and I could go on and on about relationships anymore, folks. Like, I've swallowed too many red pills. Like, the Disney lens has been removed, it's just gone. So I mean, I just look at things so much more different nowadays, guys. And oh yeah, buddy. Okay, I thought that was what you were referring to. Yeah, I do not want to go back and work on that sewer system again. Adventists are wrong. Yes, guys. Jason, I used to be a Seventh-day Adventist. All right, after I left Sunday church. And dude, I could give you a whole video. I just need to do a whole video about my testimony one night to walk you all through my journey from Lee. I'm going to do that. Next video we'll do is going to be on prepping. The next video I do after that is going to be my journey from Christianity to the truth, to Torah. All right, to the way. That's what I'm going to say. From Christianity, my journey from Christianity to the way. That's going to be a fun topic. We'll just blast that out. I'll give you all my dirty laundry so you can see my whole journey from Christianity, Seventh-day Adventism, all that stuff to where I'm at today. Um, let's see here. Somebody said laugh out loud. Adjustable 6. I'm sorry, guys. I got too mischievous there. Women should cover their heads. Yeah, the thing is, guys, and I don't mean to beat up on women. I just a lot of women are not modest. That's just all there is to it. And a lot of men don't treat women right either. Says, I'm being real. I know women wear fringes and do Gentile women as myself. I'm not ashamed. I love being modest. Hey, shout out to you, Donna. That is first class. I tell you what, you women that wear fringes, shout out to y'all. I think it is just 100% respect to the Father. Matter of fact, I think about the woman that grabbed the hem of Messiah's garment, and got healed. I'm like, she knew what that was all about, And mad respect to y'all, you modest women out there. Let's see here. What church can I trust? All right, guys, here's the deal. There's not really any churches we can trust anymore. Home fellowship is about the best thing that we can do. Some flat out truth. Appreciate you being in here. Guys, the flat out truth said, I don't think you can find a church building that will speak the truth. They are all controlled. And I agree 100%. They are, that's why that it is so important, just like I was saying today, about faith coming out of these things, because nobody around us is walking this out. Amy, I'll touch on fringes in just a second. Matter of fact, if y'all want to check this out, it's in Numbers 15. The reason we're supposed to wear fringes is to remind us to keep the Father's commands. And those of us that are Gentiles of the nations that's converted over to keep the Father's commands, I think it's a great point to keep them. Hold up a second. I want to show y'all something. I'm going to reach over right here. All right. This is my work pants from earlier today, right? Now these are right here. That's what I wear. Now some people wear a shirt and it's got fringes all around the shirt, right? That's on my work belt. I'm in jogging pants right now, guys, because I got cleaned up before I sit down and talk with you. But that's what I wear. And I encourage everybody to wear them. And I think it's a great witnessing tool. That's why I try to wear t-shirt anymore. Like this one tonight says, Yahuwah is my everything. I think Abby got this one for me. And, that's why Gentiles grafted in. That's right. And I just think that, what does it say? The church I found. Well, that's great. And see, here's the deal. You'll find a lot of churches. You'll find a lot of people in the Hebrew Israelite movement that have come out of Babylon, and about the only thing that's left that they cleave to is Saturday worship. And the deal is if you have a meaningful conversation with a lot of people want to keep the Father's calendar. And I hope a lot of these assemblies, especially in the Hebrew Israelite community, Hebrew and Gentile that's converted to the truth, will wake up and start keeping the Father's calendar. Guys, if this video cuts out, I did not interrupt it. All right, I'm afraid here in about 5 minutes it's going to cut it loose, so I'm going to wind this down in a minute. But the thing is, that's the bad thing about a lot of these fellowships, is the only thing that's the negative is they keep the Saturday Sabbath. And I'm going to be honest with you, if you will study out Saturn, it is the number one false god, false day of worship that Israel always turned to when they were in apostasy from Yah. Sun worship is a relatively new thing. Paganism was worship the sun from the get-go. But deep sun worship is a relatively new thing. Because like Saturn, you've got Molech, Chiun, Riphan, all this false deity worship that relates to Saturn, the golden calf, the hidden one, Aspis, all this stuff. If you look this up, guys, you can find how do each other. All right, listen, the whole reason I want to set up that event for spring is so everyone can come and network with one another. It's going to be a huge networking event. If at all possible, I can keep it. And here's the thing. Saturday worship and Sunday worship. Here's the deal, guys. All you got to do is take a look at worldslastchance.com. Go to worldslastchance.com, download the calendar app, start studying out. We can go over it. I've went over the Father's calendar so many times on this channel, and I know there's more and more new people coming in. You can check out Restoring the Creator's Calendar. It's a documentary me and Brother Joel done at Loud Cry Ministries years ago. It's up on Loud Cry Ministries on YouTube. Why does there even have to be a day of worship? Because the Most High Yah requires it, guys. It's a commandment. It's the only one that says remember. And nobody cares. I mean, just like, that's the thing that kills me. Nobody seems to care about the Father's calendar. They'll keep it the feast days. They'll keep the new moon days. Some people keep the new moon days. I keep new moon days. They'll keep the new year. They'll do everything off of it, but they just won't do Sabbath. They just won't count it off. And in Isaiah 66, in the book of Isaiah 66, you look at 22, 23, the verses there, you read it down. From one new moon to another, and from one Shabbat to another shall all flesh come to worship before me. Evangelist, aspiring arborist, World's Last Chance is not a Seventh-day Adventist. They used to be Seventh-day Adventists, just like I used to be a Seventh-day Adventist, and they come out of that and started keeping the Father's calendar and so many other things. And guys, I'm telling you, you can find a lot of knowledge there. And absolutely, it took somebody, a flat out truth said, the Most High will bring you guys fellowship in His time. It took me nearly 2 years to find it. It will come. And yeah, absolutely. It took me a while. And guys, it will come. And I found a lot of people fellowship with. Matter of fact, somebody reached out to me the other day. I'm going to fellowship with, hopefully on a new moon. World's Last Chance recently removed all their Ellen White content. That is wonderful, Let There Be Light. I don't support Ellen White, so I'm thrilled that they've removed that too. That's great. Guys, I'm telling you, you don't need to trust no man's doctrine. You need to trust the Scripture alone. You need to take whatever words I ever tell you, and you need to go look for yourself and let set apart Spirit guide you. All right? I'm just trying to be a reflector. You know, this information that I share with you, World's Last Chance shares with you, anybody shares with you. I don't care if somebody has a pastor title, deacon, prophet, moray, teacher, or just somebody on here like myself that's walked out of Babylon, that used to be in the clergy. I don't care. We shouldn't take nobody's word for it, not even World's Last Chance. We should study everything out to see if it be so. Test all things. Yeah, that's right, Gene. That's exactly right. All right, guys, if there's anything important anybody needs to say, all hearts and minds are clear, as they used to say in the church house, y'all need to shout it out right now in the next minute or two, because I'm about to close it down for the night. But listen, next week we'll do a prepping video, and the following Sabbath after that, I'll be talking about, yes, see right there, let there be light, dawn after conjunction, after all my research lines up more accurately compared to First Visible Crescent. And what is the name of the calendar app? World's Last Chance. Check that out. All right. What is the YouTube channel for the super? Laser Beam is for the super capacitor. All right, I'll have to check that. Have you studied Islam yet? I have looked and read on the Quran. Guys, I'll be honest with you. I'm telling you, you need to get rid of Judaism, Islam. Need to leave that stuff behind, guys. I'm telling you. That's right. The Sabbath is the sign of the covenant between Yahuwah and Israel. And guys, I'm telling you, we got to come up out of Babylon, be set apart. We got to keep Father's appointed times, not that of Gene. Well, beware of those crappy days. Yeah, guys. I want no more crappy days working on stuff. And let me tell y'all, if you ain't never done construction, and you ain't never had a sewage system explode on you, you have not lived yet until you've had that happen. I'll tell you, I think I got a gold star to go on my little contractor's card the other day after that adventure. So that said, guys, listen, straight up, next week, prepping video, we'll go over a bug out bag together. I'll do a live. We'll go through the bag together. And then after that, I'm going to talk to you about my journey out of Christianity to the way, and I think that'll be a real big help to people. Plus, that can be a good testimony that I can keep pinned at the top of the YouTube channel. Thanks, everybody, for being in here. The Most High Yah Baruch you and keep you, make His face shine upon you, show you favor, and give you shalom. Guys, till we see again here, 7 Terms Prepper channel. Love all y'all. And this new moon, before I go, I see everybody, before you go, this month, if you're keeping the Father's Calendar app, all right, New Moon Day is on W Day, Pagan Wednesday. So I'll be catching y'all on Tuesday nights. All right, 8 o'clock this coming month. So I'll catch you all Tuesday after this one coming up, and we'll hammer it out next week. And guys, love all y'all. Have a wonderful night out there and stay warm. Bye.